Hello, dear listeners. Welcome to Landing America. On today's episode, I invited my friend Aurora to share her immigration story with us. Welcome, Aurora.
Hi, thank you.
How are you doing today?
Very good.
Thank you so much for accepting my invitation. Aurora, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Aurora. I'm born in France, but my parents are immigrants too. They are originally from Belgium. I born in France, and after I grew up in south of France, in a very small village of 1,000 people. So I really been raised in the middle of nowhere. My parents didn't have a lot of money, very low income household. So we grew up very, very nicely with my brother in nature and in a house. So it was very nice. And after that, I decided that it was too much. It was not me. It was not who I was. I decided to live where I used to live, even if my parents were not very for that. And I applied to go to business school. I moved from south of France to business school in north, 1,000 kilometers from there, by myself. After that, I went to business school for a master's degree. And so this is who my background, let's say.
How old were you when you moved out of your family house?
I was 19 years old.
After you finished your studies, what did you do?
After I finished my business school, I moved to Paris because I wanted to work in luxury brands like Chanel, Dior, and all of these brands, French brands. I decided to move to Paris because this is where all the headquarters are. And on top of my master, I did an MBA in marketing to be able to do marketing in luxury brand. So I start working in Le Bon Marché, what is a very big, it's like Macy's, like a very big store. And I was a sales manager at this time. And I met my fiancé there, with who I stayed for 5 years. And at the same time, unfortunately, my mom got sick. So we took care of her with my brother for a few years. It was very tough moment for us. And when she passed away, I told myself that it's not the life I wanted to live. I was not happy in my life in Paris. I was not happy with my fiancé. I had to change. I moved to Caribbean. To explain you the story, it's like a little bit complicated, but so I just applied for jobs abroad without knowing where I wanted to go or what I wanted to do. So I applied, and one day somebody called me and said, "Hi, Aurore, so you applied for this position. Do you have time to do like 1 hour interview?" I say, "Yeah, sure." But I had no idea which company it was because I maybe sent 20 different resumes all over the world in English and French countries speaking. And so I had no idea. I did this interview for 1 hour without knowing which company. So it was more about characters, like my personality, if it was matching with the company. Apparently it did because they called me again. It's okay, we're going to send you an email. Thanks God I could know the name of the company after this email, so I could do some research. and I accepted the job.
And where was it?
It was for like Digicel. It's a phone, mobile phone company in Caribbean. It's like AT&T or T-Mobile, but for the Caribbean. And so I was a sales manager for them.
But you moved to Caribbean?
Yeah, I said okay. So they called me and said, okay, you can start the job in 15 days, 2 weeks. And I had no idea. So my fiance at this time heard me saying, I accept the job. He came to the living room and asked me, where are you going? And I just tell him, I'm moving to Caribbean in 2 weeks. It's how like my life just switched the first time, where I decided to just leave everything to move there.
That takes a lot of courage, I think. Also, I feel like there comes those moments when you feel that you're at your lowest or you're down, and you really feel that kick within yourself that I need to change things.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm just going for it, even if it's something unknown.
You're right. It's exactly, I was in the bottom. I was depressed every morning when I was waking up. I'm like, what can be worse than that? Nothing. I think it's when you feel that you are not in the place where you should be, that you understand that you need to do something, like to change. Even for sure, when you go out of your comfort zone, it's always hard, and always it's always tough to go somewhere you've never been before. But
That's
I
right.
think it's important.
100%, I agree with you, for sure. You moved to Caribbean.
Yes.
How was the story then?
Caribbean was nice. You wake up in the morning, it's sunny, you have the beach, it's very nice. But at the same time, it's small. One week you already did the tour of the island and every place, every restaurant, and everybody.
Can you tell us what island you've
Yeah,
been
it
to?
was Martinique. It's a French island. It's French. It's part of the French, state. It's called Dom-Tom, but it's part of French government.
So the language there is French?
Yes. It was kind of easy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's easier, to work because I didn't have to speak English. Because I don't know if you know, but in France, people don't really speak English.
I know.
I don't know why we have a very hard time with languages.
And there are some countries I realized that they pay more attention on their own language instead of learning other languages. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's like the pride or I didn't understand why is it like that. For example, I know that a lot of Spanish countries don't emphasize learning other languages or
Yeah.
English, but also half of the world speaks Spanish.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So it's easy.
if half of the world spoke my Slovak language, I don't think I would be very
Motivated.
motivated to learn English or any other language. So
Mm.
that's understandable. And it's the same with French. A lot of people speak French a lot of places. So.
Yeah, kind of. No, I don't think, because we are kind of lazy. And I guess you're right. We are very chauvinist, so we like our country, so we don't understand why we will have to learn something else, I
Plus,
guess.
French is beautiful. So,
Yes.
how long have you stayed in Martinique?
So I stayed for 7 months. And after these 7 months, I received the paperwork that I get a green card.
For
So this is another story that I need to tell you. When I was 21 years old, my dad won to the lottery, the green card lottery in France.
oh, nice.
Yes, he got with his new wife, who are not my mom, of course, obviously. So they got the green card, but unfortunately, I was 21. I just turned 21, so I couldn't get it. So I applied for F2 visa, what is family regroupment visa. So it's for every unmarried kids more than 21.
Okay. And your father moved to the United
Yes,
States?
he moved right away to the United States with his family. Me and my brother, we stayed in France, of course, and my mom. So yeah, it's how he gets the green cards.
And you applied right away when he got it?
Yes,
And
I
so-
applied right away.
And how long did it take to get it?
8 years.
Oh my God, that's a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there is ways to accelerate the process, somehow, maybe with lawyers, or we didn't look for it at this time because I was in business school. I started my business school when I was 21, so it was, for me, I wanted to finish my studies before anyway that I moved. So for me it was perfect. This is why I could wait until I was ready.
Have you thought about America before your father got the green card?
Never.
Never?
To be honest, it's never been my dream to go to America. I mean, I never traveled in my life. Before I was 21 and I went to business school and I did internship abroad, I never traveled because my family didn't have money. So they never took us anywhere in vacation, never took the plane, So for me it was I never thought about living in another country.
I can relate to
before.
that. I also was flying first time when I was 21.
Yeah,
First time I saw the beach when I was 21. We also didn't travel abroad much. But I think that was my motivation because I did few trips, with school to Germany here and there, and I
yeah.
saw that the world is so different from where I live, and that was something that made me want to travel more and explore more and go. Okay, and I would like to know everything about that process.
We decided with my dad because obviously he thought that I would have more chance and more opportunities in America. So he told me, I think it's important if you can apply. So I guess it was less than $1,000 application. So it was not very expensive. And so I fill out all this paperwork with a birth certificate that we were related. And at this time, it was only green card, so permanent resident. It was not as fast as if he was American citizen.
Yes.
So for my brother it was different because he did it as a as a American citizen.
So he applied later.
He applied later, yeah, but he's still waiting. So it's already, I guess it's already 6 years or 7 years he's waiting right now. So it's still long, the process. But yeah, birth certificates, as you are related, all his papers, and I think he needs to be the guarant of you, you know, to
Sponsor.
show a sponsor, exactly, to be the sponsor. Sorry, guarant is in French. Yeah, he need to be the sponsor, and that's it. And after I was just waiting, we had access to a page on the embassy website. You can see when your application gonna be taken care of. So they tell you in 18 months, 24 months, so you can see that it's coming.
Okay.
So you can plan, start planning your life and around that.
That was exciting.
Yeah, kind of.
And did you have to go for any interview?
Yes, so after I got the interview, I had to go in Paris for the interview.
To the embassy?
Yeah, to the embassy, and I had to do blood test too, because they want to check about few things to be sure that you don't have a certain
medical conditions or something.
medical condition, and AIDS too. They check if you don't have AIDS.
Wow.
Apparently, it's one of the criteria that if you have it, you cannot have the green card.
Okay.
I had no idea. So yeah.
I believe there is a lot of exclusions that disqualify you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you did some medical examinations. How was the interview?
The interview was very easy. Like they are just checking if you speak English, if you do something, if you will be able to work somewhere in America. So me, I had a master's degree in marketing, so he was not very worried.
And that interview was scheduled while you were already in Martinique, or was it before?
So I was in Martinique, yeah.
So you had to fly back to France?
Yeah, a few times. Yeah, I was flying back already anyway to see my family or to see my brother. So I was flying back. So yeah, I flew back to Paris.
Did they tell you right away that you got your green card on the interview?
So between the months, it was in October that I got the letter, and I got my interview in May. So I had to wait 8 more months to get the interview.
So when you received your green card, you went to the United States right away?
Yes.
You left your job in Martinique?
Yes.
And you didn't change the climate much, right? Because
no,
you're
exactly.
still in tropical.
It was the same, but bigger, right?
And much bigger. Yeah. Why did you decide for Miami? Is your father here as well? Or
no, sorry. So I didn't move right away to Miami. It's a pretty bigger, longer story.
Where did you go?
So my father lives in New Jersey. So I went first to New Jersey for 2 months maybe to receive, because you receive your green card by mail, and because at the beginning you just have your passport and you have your visa. So after you need to go back to America and you need to receive your green card by mail. and also got your social security card. And yes, so I received all of this in maybe less than 1 month. I went to, of course, open like a phone number, like a line, mobile, and I opened a bank account because for me it was important to start building my credit score.
Mm-hmm.
This is another, I guess, other subject, but yeah, it's very important when you arrive in America to start building your credit score.
After 2 months in New Jersey, where did you go then?
So then I told my dad I'm leaving. So he was surprised. I say, "Where are you going? Like, what are you gonna do?" I say, "I don't know. I need more sun because it's kind of cold in New Jersey, and I don't really like cold and snow." So I moved to Los Angeles.
Nice.
Yeah. So I had no idea. I never been to Los Angeles. Like I always listen to my intuition and signs and everything, and I don't know. I just went there. So I took my two suitcases and I moved there.
I love Los Angeles.
Oh yeah,
It's beautiful.
I loved it too.
California, it's my second choice probably. If I will ever move out of Miami, I would probably go there. I like the big city, so I would stay in that vibe.
Yeah.
And there you have, the beach, but also the mountains.
Yes.
So it's all together,
No,
and
it's amazing.
everyone is in such a good mood.
It's true.
So how long have you been there?
So I stayed less than 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So why? Because it's very expensive. At this time, it was very expensive. It was in 2018 that I moved there. It was very expensive. It was an amazing city. I really love it. I think better than right now because it changed a lot. I was paying like a lot of money for a room with a roommate. So it was tough when I arrived there because my English was not, as you know, perfect because French people, they don't know how to speak English. So it was very tough. So I arrived, I had few jobs, like I was a waitress in La Durée. I also was a dog sitter, babysitter. I was a salesperson for a French company. I did everything I could to be able to pay my rent and pay my life there because nobody were giving me any money.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just trying to figure out how to survive. So for 1 year it was tough. My English was not perfect, so I was more in a survival mode, For the first year I was in America.
I think your English is really good now.
Yeah, after 6 years, yeah. So after 6 years, I had time to practice. But no, at the beginning it was very, very tough. My accent, I was doing a lot of mistakes, so it was tough. So I decided to move to Miami because at this time it was less expensive than LA at this time. Right now, I think it changed.
Do you speak any Spanish?
Yes, I speak Spanish. I mean,
okay.
I studied 14 years Spanish in school. So it was like my English.
Mm-hmm.
Not very good, but at least in Miami, you practice.
Oh, you practice a lot.
Yeah,
you practice
exactly.
everywhere you go.
Yeah, so I could practice.
So when did you move here? Which year?
So I moved here in 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
You're here for 5 years now.
Yes.
Are you happy here?
Very happy.
What did you do when you moved here?
Okay, so when I moved here, my first job was in a factory. Still, my English was not good at this time when I moved to Miami. So I was working to do like implants for dentists. During the time I was maybe 8-9 hours the day. I was listening audiobooks and, because you do the same like the same gesture every second,
Mm-hmm.
It's a factory. So I did that for maybe a few months, maybe 4 or 5 months. So after that, I could save money and I could rent a place in South Beach on Collins Avenue and 12th Street. So I had my own studio, 500 square feet, like very small, but I was very happy, I had everything together, my bed, my desk, my living room and my kitchen, but I was happy.
Which year was that?
It was 2019. Yeah, in October.
So we lived very close to each
yeah?
other. Yeah, I lived on the 15th, then I lived on the 11th for 2 years.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I've been there 4 years, but I was always in that area between 15 and 12. I changed like maybe 6 apartments.
Yeah, I know. It's
So
tough.
yeah.
It's very tough.
Okay, so what did you do next?
After this, so I found my apartment. Thanks God, I could, be by myself after so many years of roommate or be fiancé in Paris. So I could, at least find myself again. And I found a job in Macy's.
I like that shop.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
very
I
nice
used
one.
to go to the store.
So I was biking, to the store. I was very happy. City bike. So I really enjoy my life, and when I moved to Miami Beach.
The beach is I to me it's like a small village sort of,
Yeah,
because
you have
you
everything.
can go anywhere by walk.
Mm.
Everything is just few minutes away. You don't actually really need to go across the bridge to Miami,
Yeah, no,
because
it's true.
it has its own everything. Yeah, I really loved it there. I know a lot of people don't like the beach because they say, oh, it's terrible with parking
Yes.
and a lot of tourists. But I feel like for someone who just moves in here,
Yeah, I think it's
the
nice.
beach is perfect. Yeah,
Mm.
I was spending. Now I rarely go to the beach anymore, and I used to be there all the time.
Yeah,
I'm going for meditations and yoga classes.
yeah.
It's awesome.
After Macy's is very easy in my life because after I met my fiance.
Tell me
So
about that.
we met in Macy's.
Nice.
What is very, very surprising,
Love
right?
it.
I was working in my counter as a sales manager, and he just entered inside Macy's, and that's it. He saw me.
Love at first sight.
Yeah, for him. Love at first sight, apparently. No, he saw me, and 1 week before we met at Macy's, I filed for my first LLC in Florida because I always been an entrepreneur. I did a major entrepreneurship in business school. I always try to create a business in France and in America, in Los Angeles, at my pet sitting. I always like to work for myself, even if I was working on a site for somebody, but I always have a site, you know.
I like that.
And so 1 week before I met him, I filed for my concierge business travel agency because a friend of mine from France went 2 weeks before to Miami, and I planned for them everything, like the lodging, the restaurant, renting a boat. So I did everything for them, and I really enjoy the process of doing that. So I say, why not? Maybe I could, be my own concierge travel agent, and it's what I did. So I filed for my first company at this time. And when I met him, he asked me where I was from. So I said, oh, I'm from France. He said, oh, nice, I'm going next week. Oh, maybe he was going the month after.
Where is he from?
He's from Israel originally, yeah. And he was going to France for Formula One, I think, or an event. And so I told him, I say, oh, if you want, I can help you because I have a concierge business. So I can maybe help you to book something, your hotel or restaurant or whatever. And he said, oh, yeah, great idea. So, of course, for him, bingo, because he could have my number, He was looking for a way to have my number, but, he didn't know what to do. So it was perfect
Made
for
it
him.
easier for him.
Yeah, exactly. So he took my number, and we had our first business meeting, like maybe 1 week after.
And that's how the love story
Yeah,
developed.
exactly.
He
And
went
instead
to
of
Paris. He had a great
no,
vacation
so
thanks to
he
you.
didn't go.
He didn't?
No, maybe it was an excuse. I don't know. But that our business meeting instead of 1 hour lasted 4 hours. So we found out we had a lot of in common, and so like the same kind of background and the same kind of energy, and so yes, we really discovered we were connecting at this time.
Very nice.
And
I
since then,
am
yeah, we
very
are
happy for
together.
you.
Yeah, it's been 5 years, so we're gonna get married.
Oh,
We are fiancé like since 6 months.
congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm very happy for you. All right. What were your first impressions when you arrived to America?
Good question. In France, I remember when I was in Paris, I was walking everywhere. It was it was nice. Here it's like everything by car, everything is far, everything it's big.
Supermarkets are big.
Exactly, supermarkets are big.
I was annoyed with the size of supermarkets
Yeah, you
because
don't find
you
nothing.
cannot find anything,
Yeah,
and there is
it's true.
such a huge choice, which should be a positive thing. But I was upset.
Yeah,
This is too much.
no, it's very true. And also the food quality,
Mm,
what I didn't think it was very healthy, and nothing was very healthy.
hmm.
It's very tough to find any healthy product in
Yeah.
America.
Okay, I would like to ask you something that I ask every guest. What do you like and what do you not like in America or about America?
What I love about America, it's I think you can make it easily that in another country because people give you your chance easily. It's not because you don't have any experience then somebody will not give you a chance.
Hmm.
This is, I think, the main difference and what I really love here. It's very like entrepreneur and business oriented, and in America you can really fake it until you make it. In other countries it's very difficult. They ask you for a proof that you're graduated for this subject that you're trying to talk about. I think it's the main difference. It's what I love here.
Hmm.
I love the fact that without leaving America, you can travel in America and you have so many different beautiful nature and mountains and everything. This is beautiful. America is beautiful for that, and that's it.
I can agree with both statements. I think as well that there is so many places to travel here and you're still within the USA. And also I feel like if you have this business spirit, if you are driven, you can get really far in whatever you decide.
Yeah,
I don't think it's so much about the education or level of or titles that you have. If you want to do something and if you're willing to learn and if you're willing to push yourself, you can get really far. And that's amazing because it's really entirely up to you rather than up to what kind of school you decided to study when you were a kid.
exactly. I
Because
agree.
you really don't know what you want to be or what you want to do when you're 17. And you can start a new career all over again in totally different field at any point of your life here, and I love that too. What you don't like about America?
I have a lot of things. No, I'm kidding. No. I really like my new country. And now I'm American, so I have a passport. But no, there is a lot of differences that I think is better in Europe. For example, the food, the quality of the food. When you go to a restaurant in Europe, you they always try to cook with olive oil or to cook with something that is good for health. In America, it's more profit. They don't care
Mm-hmm.
about your health. This is America, and I think it's sad. I would say the food that I don't really like here is for that mainly we don't go to restaurants anymore. We still go, but we try to avoid because I love to cook, and I love to cook healthy, so I try to cook what I can. My goal is to have my own garden where I can grow my own vegetables. This is in few years maybe. I wish I can do that. To have a farm and where you can grow your vegetables and have a lot of dogs. This is my my dream. And I would say sometimes people tend to be a little bit exaggerating. For as they're gonna tell you something they don't think. That, for example, giving compliments all the time. Oh, you're beautiful today, even if they don't think it's true, just to make you feel, I don't know, comfortable or feel good. I don't really
Mm-hmm.
like that. I like people who are like straightforward, real, and it's what I don't think with a lot with America.
The Europeans are like that. That's what how we are, and that's what we find more natural. I can agree with that. Also, when it comes to food, for me, I would say it's the choice of food in restaurants because I feel like in Europe or in Slovakia, every restaurant has their own different kinds of meals, and
Mm.
I feel like everywhere I go here it's so repetitive. Everywhere is the same offer, and that bothers me when I go to eat out, because sometimes I really go through the whole menu and I can eat anything, but I'm just like, I don't see anything that would be like new or like a
Yeah.
signature. That's what I miss as well. Tell me more about your other businesses. You said you started more businesses.
Yes, so I started then closed a lot of businesses because I love to try. I love to try different things.
Why not?
So right now I still have a fashion brand. I created and designed my own clothes that we produce in Colombia. And so it's more like kind of dresses, sets, linen, silk dress,
What's the name?
voyage. This is my last business that I'm doing, and real estate. Right now I'm like focusing in real estate too, and I'm doing also property management because we bought a lot of apartments. So when they're gonna be finished, we're gonna start renting them. So far I'm renting one.
And I think you mentioned as well some non-profit.
Yes, right now I'm starting a non-profit. We're going to Peru beginning of May. My fiance and two of our friends who are from Peru. We want to create a school, to build school, or if not build, create. And we want to create school in a rural area. It's not the main city. It's like very 1 hour or two flight from the capital.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no school. So a lot of kids since COVID are not in school anymore. They start working with their parents at 12. We want to do that. This is our new project, and we're going for the first time in May. We're very excited.
You seem very busy.
Very, very.
Did America fulfill your expectations?
Yes, I didn't have any expectation, to be honest, when I arrived in this country, but I'm very happy. I'm very happy. For sure, happier than when I was in Paris. Definitely.
Would you have done anything differently looking back?
I don't think so. I'm very happy about when I was with no money in LA, because I think it builds a character and it builds what you are capable of doing. I think everybody needs to pass by this step, by this stage, and nothing can be easy. For me, if it's easy, I think it's not the right path
Mm-hmm.
for the person.
Absolutely. And what advice would you give our listeners who would like to either visit America or live in America? Do you have any advice for them?
You should go through the dream and follow the dream, whatever it costs and whatever it's tough, and they should not hesitate.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. It's gonna be tough for sure. They're gonna suffer, they're gonna cry, but it's the right way to be able to succeed.
Can you compare France and America from your point of view and from your experience?
The main subject that I was very in shock when I arrived in America, it's a dating situation. Like when you're in France, if you kiss somebody, you are with this person, right?
Right.
You are not like, oh, maybe in 2 months we're going to be together. No, it's like you are with the person. That's it, you kissed him. Of course, you can break up, let's say it after 1 week if it's not the right person. But it's not like in America, or people can date multiple persons until the talk. I never heard about that.
They're just talking.
It's crazy.
Open relationship.
They like that apparently.
Ghosting.
Oh my god, ghosting. The first time I get ghosted, it was terrible.
Same. It's something new, and you
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like nobody.
No, it's terrible. It feels like your ego. Why is this person is not talking to me anymore? I'm not worth it. Or explain me why.
I couldn't wrap my head around that.
Same.
It's very unusual. In Europe, you show interest, you go on a date, you go on
Yeah.
a couple of dates, And once you get to maybe like day 3 or 4, that's a sign that, okay, we like each other. So maybe it's time to kiss, right? Here, I feel like everyone wanted to kiss on the first date. Within the first part of the date,
Yeah,
it was
true.
so rushed.
Yeah.
And then it also means nothing. So it was very confusing as well from the very beginning.
No, it's true. It's terrible.
Well, thank you so much, Aurora, for being here, for
Thank you for
accepting.
inviting me.
And I'm very happy that I got the chance to know you better and that you shared your story with our listeners, that you hopefully inspired some. And I wish you good luck in the future.
Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
good luck to everybody.